Okay, now today let us talk about the validity and reliability in experimental research. So we all know that the validity ensures the accuracy of the results, and reliability will ensure the consistency of the result if we repeat the same experiment. Okay, validity. So to know the internal validity, or to increase or improve the internal validity in experimental research, as much as possible, we have to control the variables and the conditions that could affect the dependent variable. We could also use random assignment. We can do that by using through experimental research, and as much as possible, we have to minimize the confounding factors that could affect the dependent variable. We all know the variables that could affect the confounding variables could affect the dependent variable. No, so we have to identify that when we are doing our procedures and research by reading the procedures and reading related literatures. We can also search about the extraneous variables that could potential to be present or to be existed in your research topic. You just have to write or to read the related literature for that. Another one is the external validity. So to increase the external validity of your research study in experimental, much better that you produce representative samples, you do replicated trials, and you can make real-world applications of your research and try your research into the diverse background. So for example, you have to test the findings in the field to ensure generalizability, so that you will see if there are consistency on the accuracy of the result. For instrument validity, the one thing that you have to improve the instrument validity in experimental research, number one is to calibrate all the equipment. Be sure that all the equipments are functioning well, and you are sure that the data that you see or the result that you see in laboratory tools are all accurate. Kasi nga, kinakalibrate nyo siya every time that you use it. So how to calibrate? Depende yon sa mga equipment, no? And you have to research how to calibrate that particular laboratory equipment. Another one is you have to validate the measurement. Okay, example, calibrate the tools to ensure accurate readings. So always remember that the valid result measures the right thing. Now let's move on for the reliability. Reliability ensures the consistency of the result. The test and retest reliability. In experimental research, you can repeat the same experiment. If you get the same result, it means it has a good reliability. You have to check for the stability of the result. So example, measure the same sample twice for similar result. Inter-rater reliability. You have to train the observers and compare the observations. So for example, the two scientists record the same data consistently. If there is difference in their observation, it means there is a problem in inter-rater reliability. So there is something wrong between the two scientists or the two subject experts. Or maybe they have different level of knowledge or in-depth information based on the particular experiment. Okay, so you have to consider that. Another is the replication. So to increase the replication, you must have a multiple replicates and do a consistent procedures. So what you have to do is to perform the experiment in triplicate or thrice. So usually ginagawa naman natin to sa experiment. So always remember that the reliable results produces consistent outcome, and the valid results measure the right thing. This is how you will apply validity and reliability in experimental research. I hope you understand now what is the validity and reliability in quantitative research. Thank you for listening.